I'm Anthony Tommasini. I'm the chief classical music critic of the New York Times. My parents were not musical at all, really, so I just kind of stumbled into this. But they were very supportive of my pursuing it. I was born in Brooklyn, but when I was a little kid, we moved just across the Queens border into Long Island. But I was a half-hour train ride from Manhattan. I wound up coming a lot to New York, especially when I was a teenager, and heard, Bernstein conduct the Philharmonic at Carnegie Hall even before they moved to Lincoln Center, So I have a lot of memories like that. The music critic's job is, a music review is part opinion column and part news report. It's not 50-50, it depends on the event. Sometimes I have a very strong feeling, sometimes I don't have such a strong feeling. But if there's a new production of an opera at the Met or a new work at the Philharmonic, I have a lot of work to do. I have to describe what was it like. I have to make it come alive for readers. The challenge is that maybe the one thing we love about music is that it's the one thing you can't put into words how it works, and that's, secretly we like that. When you have to describe this soprano whose voice is very intriguing, but there's a little something funny with it. Boy, try to put that into words, I may know what I think and I may know what I'm hearing, but to convey that in language is really hard.
Continuing now with Anthony Tommasini, chief classical music critic for the New York Times, about his set of articles and videos about the top 10 classical composers of all time.
Usually at the end of every year, you read critics' lists of the best books, the best movies, the best everything. So at the beginning of this new year, I decided to really take on a top 10 list and do the top 10 composers of all time.
Talk to us about the videos. There's 5 very informative videos on the Times website.
Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I'm a pianist by training, and one of the frustrating things about writing about music is that you can't write about it. It's very hard to put into words what music sounds like. The wonderful video crew at the Times comes over to my apartment, and I sit at my piano, and I become like Uncle Lenny, and I just explain the musical world. The technique of leitmotifs is thought of as being totally associated with Wagner. The idea is simple. It just means taking a little motif or part of a theme and associating it with a character or an element of the story. The only thing I miss from my former life as a pianist and teacher is playing the piano, giving concerts, and sitting at the piano and explaining to real live people who I can see in a classroom, this is how music works. So the videos have given me a chance to do that again, to be able to say, listen, and now listen to this. That's what audiences need now, that's what they want. But we have to do this stuff ourselves. At all the orchestras and universities, we are responsible for educating the public. And every graduate in music at Boston University has to think about, I'm also a teacher. I also have to proselytize. I also have to go out there and beat the drum and help people and educate people. And it's a responsibility that we all have. So this is the way I'm doing it.